Get that out before we
Dude,
start.
get that filmed.
Okay.
Sounds like Dr. Pepper right there.
Please don't.
Yeah.
Hey guys, and welcome to 10 Talks. I'm your host, Kyle Garza.
I'm your co-host, Don Trimble.
And I'm your co-host, Nick Busta.
And today we're going to be talking to you guys a little bit about the subject of just a couple of things that you really wish they taught you in high school that they just never did and you had to figure it out for yourself. So I want to start this one off because I think the problem with this issue is there are some things in life that no one ever learns are things that you learn in school versus things that your parents are supposed to teach you versus you're just supposed to apparently Google this at some point and figure it out yourself, basically.
Yes.
So I remember coming out of high school, college and beyond, the major things that stood out to me is like I wish someone had walked me through this before were like adult paperwork, basically.
Oh, man.
W-4s,
Yep.
I-9s, marriage certificates, retirement stuff.
Yeah.
Like whenever you start getting into those things where it feels like I feel like there should have been like a life skills class for this or something that would, I don't know, maybe teach me some basics on the difference between a 401k, a Roth IRA, a 403b, and like what is my retirement? Maybe even how to handle jury summons. I mean, these are those things that they come with instructions. They tell you like what to do and where to go and that kind of jazz.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's really intimidating when you're facing things that the government sends you and you feel like if I don't do this right, I'm going to get audited. It's going to cost me money. I'm going to go to jail.
SWAT's coming.
Yeah, SWAT's coming into my house. I am not prepared for this. Those are the things that like most stand out to me. Like even to this day, I don't know if you ever had this fear. I legitimately think back to when I turned 18 and I think to myself, did I register for the draft? Did I sign that? Is that a thing? I'm pretty sure I got that, but I actually have no recollection of doing that paperwork. And so now I'm just terrified any day, like someone's gonna like realize, who's working for the government. Hey, this guy doesn't have his draft sign up. He's dodging it apparently. And then goodbye, Mr. Garza.
These are the things you worry about. Wow.
Right?
I'm paranoid like that. I don't know.
Interesting.
Well, I mean, and rightfully so. I don't know if you heard this in this last year. There was a huge mess up in Southern California with a lot of people's taxes.
Okay.
We were one of them. We filed our taxes correctly,
Yeah.
and the IRS issued us a statement that said, actually, we messed up the numbers, and you owe more money than we thought you originally did.
Ooh.
So that sucked.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Those are the things that, like, I just wish someone had just walked me through more of that. And again, that's the thing where it's like, I don't know if, like, there's a school class for that, or is it expected that your parents would teach you more of that?
Yeah.
See, like, what's that class called? Life skills.
It's life
class?
skills.
Well, that's
I don't
the thing,
know.
Like, we actually, where we teach, we have one now.
We have a life skills class?
Yeah.
No, we don't.
What's it called?
Well,
Is it called life skills?
something like that. So.
What?
But I mean, like, yeah. So, like, for
Who's
example,
teaching this?
I'll give you an example. An awesome teacher. And so, are we allowed to say? Can we say names? We can say names, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah.
Yeah.
Hurdle developed it.
Okay. He
but
is
now-
awesome. Gosh, man.
Right, that guy's a
What a
legend.
demigod.
And then Bo, Brandon is
Yeah.
he took it up too. Which of course, if you're
makes
gonna have someone
sense.
teach you life skills, it's those two guys.
Makes sense.
Cool.
Yeah, and so
Agreed.
quick story about that one. So they were learning about college. I mean, these are mainly seniors in the class,
Sure.
just because they're gonna be big boys and girls. So
Sure.
they were talking about student debt, and one of the assignments was you had to compare the tuition and room and board for like USC, Harvard, Yale, UCLA, and like community college. You look at community college just to look up like these are the differences.
What a
guys.
great contrast.
Right? And so like I heard the story, like one student, like he turned his assignment, and he's like, I got accepted to Pepperdine. I took it. I did the math. I'm gonna be $250,000 in debt for my undergrad. And
For the rest of my life.
yeah, the teacher was like, yeah, you are. Like there's
yeah.
sorry, that's
Yeah.
just
Scholarships aside or grants, if you don't find a way, you're just living with that forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, granted, that is a thing that my parents were super adamant about. Do not accrue debt if you can avoid it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I went to Cal State Channel Islands.
Let's go.
That's why I chose the best accredited online cheap master's program
The campus,
available.
I love it. And I've heard
Oh, yeah,
like,
it's
the
fun.
stories.
Well, you heard the story, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
I've
it's
heard
amazing.
it. But I actually really like it. It's really
Yeah.
cool.
No, it's gorgeous.
I mean, but the bottom line for me really was I do not want to graduate with debt.
Right.
That's
No,
what it was.
and
Yeah.
so
I don't
neither-
care how pretty this campus is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, there it is.
I am not looking for a college experience. I'm looking for an education that equips me to be a fully functioning working adult in the profession that I choose. I was really adamant about that.
See,
Yeah.
I think this is why this topic even freaks me out, because I'm not a fully functioning working. Because even when I teach in art, like I avoid the practical. I hate it. I don't want to. Hey guys, let's learn about drawing a line. Go ahead and write down this definition. It's from one point to another. Let's take our pencils and
Sure. You want to be
I'm
outside
gone.
the box.
Yeah.
And I know, but I do know, looking back, like I've successfully avoided the practical.
Sure.
Like I went to college
In a good way?
I want to say, like,
It's totally subjective. Because I went to college and my mommy did my laundry
Sure.
all throughout.
Sure.
Okay.
I was 45 minutes away and I'd come back and
Yeah.
I did still do have these moments where my wife's
You
looking at me
drove
like
45 minutes for your mother to do your laundry.
yes. But I was just
Bro.
talking to a student and they're telling me, they're like, no, this is serious. On college campuses all around, like dormitories are being evacuated because people can't run microwaves.
what?
And like the more
Evacuated
that
because
they
people are blowing things up in
Yes!
them, or
the more that they said it, like it's so true. I mean, just last year, another kid jumped in there like, yeah, like somebody threw popcorn in just last year at our school in a microwave. It was way too long. There's a fire, and all of a sudden, like people go from eating well, hopefully, if they're
Yeah,
mommies and
yeah.
daddies, and then all of a sudden, if they haven't even cooked,
Right.
yeah, it's top
Like,
ramen
do we
for
need-
the rest of your life.
There you go.
right? Like you go from this
I miss
moment.
top ramen.
Yeah, you're eating, boom, like instantly. You're on your own, which really
Right.
means
That's a big thing.
you're eating terribly.
Oh,
you
of
have to
course.
just find this all out.
That's
So you
why
just-
it's a
moment.
freshman 15. Like,
Yeah,
you know that.
yeah,
that
the
thing of-
cafe food that's
Yeah.
like so bad for you.
But don't you
supposedly,
just have to love it?
Well,
I remember going to the cafe
Yeah.
and watching students because they had certain areas like a buffet style.
Yeah, sure.
And I remember watching students take a milk carton like out and like slowly like pulling it out. You also have to find out how to what? Like have money and buy things.
Yeah.
And they'd rather like take it out and like fill it up with milk. No, nobody sees it. Stick it back in their bag and like run up to the dorm. Like
That's really
you
depressing,
become
actually.
so
I'm morbidly depressed.
but you
I
have
need
to
to write emo
learn these
poetry
things.
now.
I think we learn how to skirt the system is what we really do. We just
Skirt what?
you just stay on the edge of
Okay.
everything of like actually doing it the right way. Isn't
Okay.
that how you
So
guys?
what you're saying then is like just cooking, basic cooking skills.
yeah, pretty
Like,
much. Like that's
we
what
we
it
need
boils
home
down
ec
to.
back,
Yeah.
basically.
No, my wife also she pays the bills, man. Like, I just have figured this out the whole way, man.
Right on, dude. Right on.
So good.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's funny. I don't think I learned most of my life cooking skills until I got married, where it was like the
Yeah?
necessity of
Yeah.
the both of us are working,
Yeah.
and I am home first, so someone's got to make it happen, basically, because eating out is just too expensive.
Well,
Yeah.
sure.
Like you just start actually working with a budget, and you
Right.
realize that like $8
You have to.
at some burger joint, like that adds up
That's
quick
still
in a
expensive.
week.
Yeah. You're paying for that luxury of just not having to cook it.
Yeah, seriously.
No, it's for sure. And then I mean, on top of it, it's like eating well. I
Right.
mean, and this goes into just anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Like, so do you guys really think like are parents sitting down and saying, "All right, like this is how
Well,
you do the laundry. This is
I
how."
think laundry is a lost art, most definitely. And I think the reason why, and this is, granted, I'm not a parent, so I can't really speak into this
'Kay.
enough from experience.
Yeah, yeah.
I think the general trend is, for parents, I do this better than you do, so I'll handle it.
That's
Yeah.
the hard
Because
part.
when
is
you
being able
do
to let
it,
go.
It's awful,
Yeah.
and it makes a mess of things.
Right.
So we're saying this is on the parents. Like it should be.
I'm not saying
And-
everything.
yeah,
I'm not saying everything. It's the really tough line to toe in which you have to allow your child to fail
Yeah.
at certain things to learn and grow,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that's messy.
Yeah. Just like sometimes literally messy.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
So I don't know, and it's the notion of like how much failure do you allow? Dude,
Yeah.
we live in an age where we can know anything. I can know anything
right.
Mm-hmm.
right now, but yet we don't. We
Well, that's-
actually
Yes,
know nothing.
yes.
We know nothing.
That's like the nice
we know the
safety
most
net
simple things.
Right.
for these things, though, right? It's like when you get a letter from the IRS that says you owe money and you have to pay it in such a way
Yeah.
that you can actually find out information online on how to make that happen.
Yeah, for
If
sure.
you don't know how to, change your address on your driver's license, you can Google that. You can
Yeah,
figure it out on the
no big deal.
DMV.
Yeah.
That's the nice thing about most of these, especially the documentation that's required for adult life that makes things easy. But yeah, I think it's really sad sometimes when you meet adults, especially in college, who just are lacking such basic life skills on how to handle certain things.
Yeah.
That probably was all home ec at one point. My wife had a class in high school
Yeah.
where they showed them how to like change a tire, how to change the oil of your car.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like really practical stuff like that.
That's
And
awesome.
I wish I had more like that.
Same.
See, I
Yeah.
just
Or
think,
more offerings like that.
and this is why I'm so in between. Like, I'm like, yeah, like you need it, but I think I'd fall asleep in that class.
Really?
I don't know why.
In
And
high school?
yeah, well, and
You gotta
I
use
don't
like
know.
big tools. How could you?
As an
like,
adult, I
oh,
wouldn't.
I get
In high
easily
school,
bored.
maybe.
You could use a tire iron.
Yeah. Honestly, when I think about this, I think the biggest thing that people need to know, and then I couldn't pin down, like I really thought about this one, how does this happen? Like the
Okay.
real thing, I think, even going through school, but then I don't think you can teach this. It's just the notion of like relationship skills. This is what people need more than anything in life.
Okay.
You'll learn things through people.
And we
but,
call
like-
that networking, unfortunately, today. And it comes up in like a communication class. And it's so business oriented.
Yes.
And it's not genuine, authentic human interaction at that point.
Yeah, and it's not like in speech class. This is not. This is like one-on-one. Like when I think of my students, I want them to know how to interact with different people too, different types,
Yeah.
with different backgrounds,
Yeah.
who have totally different outlooks.
Yeah.
And I don't know, how do you teach that? And I think a lot of it is throwing you in uncomfortable situations.
Yeah. You have to experience it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like so many students that I have had would ace, and I in my class, I know, and I'm just conscientious. I want them to I just sit down. I want to look people in the eye, right? But
Yeah.
if they would just come in and be like, I want a retake.
Hmm.
Because I just want to know. And I'm like, yes!
Hmm.
But like that notion of interaction, I think that goes way past like into the world and like how do you network? How do you actually reach out?
Yeah.
This is big because someday you're going to have to do some taxes. And who are you going to ask,
Yeah.
I don't know. Some people can't even talk to their mommies and daddies anymore.
Yeah. Isn't that a lost art?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those things where you get to the point where they're not around anymore and you realize time's gone.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't, wow. I think it hit me when I was 18 when I was like, I don't know how my parents met.
Whoa.
I don't know that story.
Mm.
And I was like, what's the story behind that? How have I never learned that?
Mhm.
Those things where you're just like, I should have picked this up at some point.
Yeah.
And somehow in the just daily busyness of life, I missed interpersonal learning.
Yeah.
Ugh, what a tragedy.
Can't be taught. It can't.
Yeah.
It can.
Maybe. I don't know.
Well, this has been way too thoughtful today. This has been 10 Talks. I am your host, Kyle Garza.
I'm Don Trimble.
I'm Nick Busta.
Until next time, we'll say once again, we love you guys, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah.